New at 11, the city of Chico and its police department are working to start enforcing the new California parking law known as the daylighting law. It requires cars not be parked any closer than 20 feet to a crosswalk. Action News Now reporter Margot Rowe spoke with both agencies, and she tells us how the new law will impact parking in downtown Chico.
Parking in downtown Chico can be hectic at times with the Thursday night market, Friday night concerts, and sometimes the Saturday morning market. But now a new law in effect might make the parking situation in downtown more tricky.
It's AB 413, which basically prohibits parking within 20 feet of any marked or unmarked crosswalk.
AB 413, known as the daylighting law, is aimed to increase visibility at all crosswalks and improve safety. The law went into effect across the state on January 1st, but the City of Chico and Police Department are easing into enforcement.
We're going to be pushing out information on social media just to educate the public, and then over time we'll be issuing citations, but we're not going to be jumping on citations right away. We just want the public to be educated at first.
But it's a heavy lift. It's a heavy lift for all municipalities to incorporate something like this. So we've scheduled some meetings in the next couple of weeks, both with PD, operations and maintenance, and our engineering staff to review, really perform an audit to see what areas are really going to be impacted the most. We think there'll be a pretty significant impact to, the managed parking areas such as downtown, where we'll likely need to, potentially add some signage or maybe some traffic markings.
Gustafson says that this new law will impact the downtown parking situation. And just to give you an idea of how many parking spots we'll lose or how far you need to park away from a crosswalk, we're going to measure it out. Now I'm on Wall Street in between East 4th Street and 3rd Street. And right here where the Action News Now car is, this is about 10 feet. And if I keep going even further, this is 20 feet. So roughly 2 parking spots on just this side of the street alone are gone. That's not including the 2 on the other side or the 4 on the other end with that crosswalk. So just on this block alone, we're losing about 8 parking spots.
Ultimately, it might mean some reduced parking spaces, but the intent is to try to eliminate that as much as possible, to keep as many spaces as possible. So, we'll get creative. We'll look at ways to, is it possible to park bicycles or maybe even motorcycles in these spots. I think it requires a safe level field of view for drivers as they're approaching a crosswalk.
In the meantime, if you do park in a designated parking spot that is less than 20 feet away from a crosswalk, Sergeant Lefkowitz told me you won't be cited. Gustafson tells me it should take a few weeks to figure out how many parking spots in the downtown area will have to be removed or modified to help people comply with the new law. Reporting in Chico, I'm Margot Rowe for Action News Now.
Gustafson says the new law will impact the city's Complete Streets project and will now have to make adjustments to those plans to comply with that state law.